We are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another iconic episode of the VeganSteven podcast. Check this out. Got some lads doing around the clock doing special effects work for me. And for you guys who can't see at home, there's a load of symbols that just says subscribe and ring the bell, and there's a TikTok thing, there's a YouTube thing, Facebook. As you can tell, I'm very excited about it by the tone of my voice. Now, moving back to VeganSteven podcast, part of the podcast. VeganSteven's a fictional character. All characters, events in the show, even though it's based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone. Turn it off right now. Don't take the chance. It's strictly over 21s don't take the dance. There's loads of stuff going on in the last little while. What's that place called? Hong Kong. Jeez, I better double check. Is it Hong Kong or Taiwan? It's Hong Kong. Hong Kong is having absolute no crack, no laws. They've got the police have pellet guns and fucking paint guns. Just it's scary. If you Google it, it's this fucking mad shit going on. It's like proper, just getting everyone out of the streets and just there's a lot of people a bit concerned on the world stage. Also, there's some vicious rumours going on about Kim Jong-un. Now get this. But his fucking bus driver told me this. So it might be true. Who knows? So what happened? Kim Jong-un. He's the head man in North Korea. And as everybody knows, North Korea is one of the sponsors of the show, along with the CCP. A big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé. That other really creepy guy. Have you guys been watching 90 Day Fiancé? There's this other creepy guy that I want to talk about. He's like the... See, you gotta get new... When it comes to lockdown and all this shit, you gotta get some new hobbies. So I've been watching not 90 Day Fiancé, but the highlights, because no one has time for the full show, man. So there you are. So hit that subscribe. I was watching a video there of a man being there's lockdown, all these lockdown instructions, and don't be doing this. There's law enforcement being put in weird positions. There was there's loads of videos going around on various parts of the world of law enforcement being absolutely abused, like screamed at by just everyday people who just fucking snapped and just fucking lost it, and they end up screaming at the law enforcement, just because normally you'd be a bit careful if you're going to shout at a member who's have a lot of power, has a lot of power over you or whatever. You're just kind of like, right, bit of a dodgy situation. I'm just gonna, even though I think they're wrong, I'm just gonna keep the head down and get on today. I'm not going to get involved. But there's loads of these videos of people having screaming matches with the guards and police force and going, particularly in Ireland, they're like, 800 years, we didn't... Who are you working for? Are you working for the Brits? Just Irish lads just screaming at the guards. I was watching a fucking 20-minute video. Screaming match. Just a lad in his car screaming at the two guards inside the car. Nothing violent or anything, just the police wanted, to ask him where he was going and that, and he was having none of it. He was just like, you and the Brits, and just bringing everything into it. And also, they love shouting, is it Shamgate or something? Oh, what's the phrase? Pandemic. Shamdemic. Shamdemic. That's probably going to be the name of the podcast. Although, shit, everyone's videos are getting deleted who says stuff, against the World Health Organization. So Even though there's been a few phone calls came out between them and the Communist Party, but it's okay. Because in this fictional land, the Communist Party sponsors the podcast. So it's a good few bob. They I used to have to I don't know, clean toilets, and now sure, if it's good enough for the Hollywood industry, there's a big no, honestly now, I'm not trying to look at this negatively. I just find some of these a little bit humorous, and then I'm going to try and move on before it gets a bit too old. This is a bit too real, do you know what I mean? Because it is entertainment. But loads of videos, like some fucking Marvel videos and stuff, where oh my god, I could probably give it best with this whole, some basketball team tweeted like fucking free to bet or some shit, and the whole basketball team got censored from fucking fucking Chinese media and stuff. Just there's the Avengers films and all that, right? There are certain things they don't really want China to look bad, because then it won't get played in China. So there's a good few people in China. I don't know how many. Must be at least twice the size of Ireland. I'm only winding you up. But it's very important, you know, to get people to watch the film, because it's entertainment, and these films that do best are like kind of kids films that can go universal. Kind of, you can have the kids will like it, but the parents can also sit in there and have a chuckle as well. Kind of like Simpsons, just like you can leave it on, something there for everyone. It's not anyone's favourite film, but it's not bad enough that you'll get off the seat and turn it off. And this is coming from a lad who likes Star Wars, so Star Wars is a fucking kids film that I'm obsessed with, so you should listen. But yeah, they have to take out loads of Chinese references, and anything to do with, like, just says, you know, but so every time I say something about China, I'm like, oh god, I better reiterate that I'm talking about the Communist Party and not actually the individuals themselves. Actually, who knows? But the films essentially have to be censored and portray China in a good light to have a better chance of being broadcast in China. The scenes like Pirates of the Caribbean. Would you guys like references for all these scenes? Sure, it's not that interesting. Let's take like Chinese stereotypes of like Pirates of the Caribbean, other big films that would kind of lower the morale of the Chinese people and so on, or didn't portray the image that they wanted currently, and so on. So there's a lot of people that are very afraid that China, there's a lot of paranoia, like every government's at it, to be honest, but a lot of people are pointing the finger at China right now, to make like geopolitical advantage or whatever. So they're trying to, they're doing some shit to Hong Kong, and basically they're using that as an excuse to further their agenda of things. And I don't know, I'm probably meant to say fair play to them, to be like but I don't know, sure all the countries are at it, aren't they? Sure listen, but it was absolutely bonkers that these people in their cars were saying so many bad things to the Bulgars, like they didn't say F you or anything, but they were just like screaming at them, you're violating your code, and they're screaming the law at them, like screaming the law at them. Are you going to detain me? And all these kind of things, and the fucking vanguard is coming in. Oh Jesus. Anyway, But it's just mad that everyday lads. I was in like a €2 shop yesterday. Snuck in. It was open for like a minute, and it shouldn't have been open. So I ran in like a madman. I ran in to get a few lighters and that. Grand, no bother. There's a woman in there trying to buy a garden gnome, and she was having a fight with her boyfriend because he owed her €1, and he was like, I don't know €1. They're having a very passionate fight about €1. And the garden gnome was a stressful situation. I was in the queue, and the guards fucking came in, and they're like, how's social distance going, lads? And basically the shop got fucking shut down on the spot, more or less. And everyone in the shop was fucking fuming. They were like, dozy guard. Don't mind him! Because people were dying just to get some useless shit out of the €2 shop. €2 shops like Walmart or whatever. Because we haven't had useless €2 shop available stuff to us in a while. Just impulse buy stupid shit like, oh man, 20 packets of crisps for €1. Only 2 weeks out of date. Fucking brilliant, I'll get 6 of them. Just impulse buying, bark in the basement upstairs. Just buying shite you don't need just out of fucking, this will make me feel comfortable. It's fucking gas. There it is. It's the VeganSteven podcast. David Icke, shape-shifting lizards. So I did a podcast on that yesterday, and people liked it. Overwhelmingly, I was fucking spellbound. People were just fucking, geez, fair play to that podcast yesterday. I was like, fuck. It's a confusing one, because when you're doing a podcast, you have no idea. You're absolutely clueless if it's good or not. And then people are like, oh, I love what you did there, and you're like, fuck, how did I do that? So David, like, I rewatched the London reel, which is a taken down documentary. It's an hour long thing about, what's his name again? Just say it, David Icke, which by the way is not spelled ICE, because I spelled it wrong on social media yesterday. Oh lads, I want to read out some fan mail to you. I got fan mail, and I was absolutely chuffed. I made a podcast about it's fucking Israel and Palestine or one of those things. Do you know those things that you're not allowed to fucking say anything about because it's fucking hot potato, and all you can say is today's date, well, it's 18:05, so it's 5 minutes past 6. It is May 2020. It is Tuesday the 12th, May 2020. So got a comment in there. Fucking lad was absolutely fuming at me for my little podcast on it. By God. Is it here? Is it gone? Did it get deleted? Ah, here it is. Brilliant. Okay, you ready for this? So I did a podcast on Free Palestine and all that stuff. Now, I don't know. Sure, here we go. We'll take all sides. It says, fuck words. More than your knowledge. So, fuck yourself, man! Exclamation mark. Now, he was quite a... I really appreciate this guy, because his name is Weed. Which, you know, has some connotations to it. But he took the time to censor out his own F words so he could show that he was better than me. So I was like, appreciate that. So, F yourself, man! Exclamation mark. You didn't know where to put F words, and that's why you have only few stupid followers. So he might be having a go at you, the listener, so I don't want to... I'm just passing on the message. So, yeah, I was absolutely mind blown, because in some ways I was like, wow, someone put some thought into this comment. And I was like, oh fuck man. Anyway, YouTube fucking took it down. I don't know why they took it down, but I just thought it was fucking gas. Someone just, because I know absolutely fucking nothing about Palestine, like fucking nothing. I decided to find out a little bit about it and then pass on a little bit of basic information. Because, as I said, I don't know anything about it, so I'm confused. And, lad losing the head. I don't know. I must say I really enjoyed it. It's the little things, isn't it? It's the little things. Getting that response with your audience. Because you'd be getting like, oh well done, love the fucking shit. But you're making it when you get lads writing in, taking time out of the day to fucking craft hate mail. She's like, oh fuck, this lad really cares. This lad fucking. So there you go. Bit of love, few love letters. And I don't law enforcement and all that stuff. What was it? Their job is to enforce the Constitution. And why people are so annoyed is because the current laws are not in the Constitution. Whoops. So it's a bit of a legal grey area, and people are like, and there's stories like, there's always suspicion about everything, and they're like, come on, is there really a pandemic? What's really good is they were shouting stuff like, show me the bodies! And it's just like, oh yeah, fucking they're over there, they're here in my back pocket, here's the bodies. These lads getting very up in a heap, and I don't blame them. We're all, he went on a big passionate rant, some of these lads like, I've been locked up in my house, fucking my fucking can't pay my mortgage and all this stuff, the wife's fucking pissed off me, fucking the kids, I didn't know I had this many kids, I don't know where they're all coming from. Fucking no money coming in, just money going out, all that, yeah, well, you know yourself, just, it's, and then you get stopped, and then you get asked where you going, all this stuff's just, it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and people just lose their head. But, yeah, I don't know, I didn't know you could have a shouting match with two members of law enforcement and not go to jail. I didn't know you could do that. I just thought they were like, right, you match your description, you're going down. White lad with a beard. Yeah, we were looking for one of you. You'll do. Hop in. Oh jeez. I witnessed fucking crime before with fucking a fake gun or something, and the fucking guards kept trying to change my story. It's fucking wild. Anyway, they were just trying to do their job, but they kept trying to involve me in the fucking crime, and I was like, here lad, I was doing you a fucking favour. I could be fucking home right now. But anyway, fair play to them, they've a hard job, and I wouldn't last a fucking week as a guard, man. Listen to all those people moaning at you. Oh my god, I don't know how they do it. If some guard, if you imagine if you were a guard, right, and no, people don't really like guards or whatever, don't like politicians just because whatever, and my god, just having someone giving out you that for that much, like, show me your badge number, your head would be wrecked. Anyway, should listen. It takes two to tango. And the old guards don't make the law, they just enforce whatever laws in place, so it's a fucking awkward position. My favourite thing about Irish lads, I've just realised, is when Irish lads get really fucking pissed off, they just start shouting on about the Brits in 800 years. 800 years! Because they're just kind of like, I will not be repressed. The whole thing with Ireland and guards is that, Jesus, it's not guards, it's law enforcement. It's because, oh Jesus, for like 800 years we had a neighbouring country. You'd get possibly hung for speaking the native tongue and all that stuff, and just general kind of not good stuff. But sure, listen, who's holding grudges? Not me at the VeganSteven podcast. Who's holding? I mean, Jesus, I hope they let me back in England after all the bold stuff I've been saying. England's fucking class. You can say what you want about fucking England. It's some of the best bands ever. So, that's why racism's such a lot of bollocks, man. Oh, so David Icke rewatched the podcast. It's his thing. It was completely taken down. You know, it was fucking. You're not allowed to watch it. So, someone may or may not have allegedly sent it to me, and I was like, grand, I'll have a look at that. So I watched it purely because it was banned. Do you know that kind of way? The hottest shit. That the thing you want to watch is just because it's banned. It's like, oh shit, it must be good. I was trying to watch Human Centipede 3 because it was banned, and I was like, oh, it must be good. And now it's just fucking one of the most disturbing films I've ever watched in my life. And the whole way through it, I was like, this film really should be banned, because there was a lad providing. The nice way I can put it is he was providing hand relief to himself, and in his hand he had sandpaper. So yeah, and that was just the intro scene. He was relieving himself at his job, his day job, with that. So Jesus, Human Centipede, what a film. It's the kind of film that you have to watch with your hands over your face, and you feel ill the whole way through it, but you're kind of like, jeez, you see that film? That was fucking wild. But the whole way through it, I don't know why anyone would ever watch it, but it's the appeal of watching something that you're not allowed to watch. It's Human Centipede is a film, I believe it's over 18s and all that good stuff. So it's kind of a classic one. So I think it's like yeah. So these two a German doctor gets a load of people together, and he sews them together to create like a chain of people, but they're sewed together and all that stuff. I think it's Human Centipede 2 is the banned one. Jesus. Human Centipede 3 is the long one. Oh my god, it's fucking horrendous. Is Human Centipede possible? Jesus. So, two pretty but ditzy American girls are on the road trip through Europe in Germany and end up alone at a night when the car breaks down. It's all nice classic stuff. Take shelter in an isolated villa. They wake up in the morning to find themselves in a makeshift hospital along with a Japanese man. Oh, fucking hell. Here they meet Psycho Lad and stuff. 1.5 billion was the budget. Oh no, million, sorry. And it made... Oh. It only made like 200,000. That can't be right. That must have been profit, surely. Couldn't have lost that much money. Here's a review. Absolutely, positively my favourite movie. Hands down, I loved it. I had much play... had at my wedding. Oh, I think he's joking. Yeah, but this mad German doctor sews them up. Sews two ladies up and some Chinese man, I think. And they have to like defecate in each other's mouths, and it's... You can imagine. So, if you want to be absolutely scarred for the rest of your life, watch that film. The first one, they kind of cover stuff up. A lot of it's kind of implied, but in the second one they show you a lot, and it's the second one, there's nothing left to the imagination, and it's oh god, it's very fucking hard to watch. Like, I think I tried to watch it with a mate, and he just said, "Nah, turn this off. Fucking, that's wrong." I was like, "Oh fuck." So yeah, there you are. Human Centipede. It's absolutely bonkers. So David Icke has some great stuff to say, and I respect a lot of his philosophies, but you know yourself, he's quite an open-minded man, and some might say too open-minded. So you should listen. So anyway, I watched the documentary that was fucking deleted or whatever, hour-long thing with David Icke, London Rail, and he talks about 5G, coronavirus and all that stuff. But my favourite bits, he starts going on about how the royal family are lizards, and I just started cracking up and smiling so hard. I was like, thank you good Lord for putting this in, because you know, if the first part of it you'd be nearly crying with fear, you'd be like, oh my god, fuck, coronavirus fake and all this fucking mad shit, and then he goes, and the British aristocracy are of course lizards, and you're just like, wait a minute, and then I was looking at their face and I was like, are they taking the piss? But David Icke's been on tour with this for like years, so you gotta respect his work ethic, if nothing else. Even if you think he talks a load of shite, his work ethic is very good. But yeah, one of the more entertaining conspiracies, which to be honest, when even he talks about it, he's kind of like, I'm not sure if it's real, but so yeah. But lizards, that's fucking brilliant. Yeah, I don't know if it was him or other people. And then the interviewer was like, "Oh, have you seen any of these shape-shifting lizards before?" And he was like, "Yeah, you can only notice their eyes though." And I was like, "Whoa, fuck." all made up, right? Chill out. So I looked into it before when I was younger. Like, what's the shape-shifting? It turns out it's to do with the eyes. They have these square boxes for photography, if anyone knows about this, and makes squares appear in either side of your eyes, so it can make your eyes seem a bit fucking weird. You'll notice if you look in the eyes of any big photo shoot, you know those big expensive glossy photo shoot, you look in their eyes, there's like two squares in their eyes, and it's just a reflection of the lights, the two square lights. They're called softboxes, I believe. And then the other thing, you'll notice this on YouTube as well, they use these circular lights, which is to give this circular light to it makes the eyes light up in a circle. You just look at any YouTuber's eyes, you'll see it. Not any YouTuber's eyes, more so the high, but like, I don't know. It's a big thing. It's called a circle light. You put a circle around the camera and it evenly lights the eyes, but it doesn't look natural really. You're kind of like, oh jeez, what's going on there? Do you know when you're watching a cartoon and you hear that ding? It's like a fucking. It's like it makes the eyes sparkle. Easy as that. All right, makes the eyes sparkle. Circle light. I don't have one with me here, unfortunately. I will have one soon, but yeah. Just thought I'd go into that. 'Cause there's been a few times when I was growing up and I was like, oh shit, lizards. And I got sucked down these fucking rabbit holes. I was on the lookout for fucking lizards. And then once you, as I always say with these conspiracy things, once you do like the tiniest bit of research, just their theories just kind of start falling apart pretty quick. Yeah, but one of the things he talks about is how, oh god, people living in the centre of the earth, and yeah, there you are. But the thing is, he'll talk about stuff, but he doesn't necessarily believe it. That's the kind of weird thing. He'll talk about other people's theories, but it gets confusing. You're like, oh wait, do you believe in lizards? Think you're talking about it. So yeah, to be honest, I don't think he does believe in the lizard thing. I don't know. Who knows? But it's very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. David. Let me give you some of that sweet B-roll. Pardon me now. Brilliant, it's working. Oh yeah, so tickle that subscribe button, ring that bell. We're on VeganSteven Music, on TikTok and other things. I forgot how to work the computer. Classic. We're coming back, baby. Here we go. It's VeganSteven Pod on Twitter. And YouTube live stream each day. Yeah. The reason why I'm talking about David Icke is, well, I can tell you a fucking story. When I was a kid, when I was a little baba, I went in, to write an essay for home for the fucking school. The teacher goes, right, go home and write an essay about something you believe in or whatever. And I've just been watching a load of David Icke, and I didn't really understand. When you're younger, you don't really understand what conspiracy theories are. You're kind of just like, oh, here's a man on the internet and he's talking to me, and why would the stuff he was saying not be true? Because like, why would he make up stuff? And it's just like, oh, he must be telling the truth. He's on the internet and he's a grown up. So listen to this lad David Icke talk about Bloomberg meetings, all this fucking Bill Gates and all this stuff. So my head was absolutely filled with fucking paranoia. I was like looking out the window waiting for fucking Bill Gates to run by and fucking tell me to get vaccinated. Hiding under my bed. So I I decided the class needs to know. So I used my investigative journalism skills. So I wrote a little essay. I think it was called I started giving out about why cashless society is needed and all this stuff. But the whole essay was just gibberish. Looking back on it, the teacher said what is all this about? I was just writing bullet points of fucking why the world's fucked and just fucking people are lizards. Number 2, blah, 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 blah. And I think the essay might have been on something like what makes you happy or something. And the teacher was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So that was my first experience with conspiracy theories, and Jesus, yeah, some of the off the wall stuff, it gets you really in trouble, because they're just kind of ideas. Some of them are just a bit some of them are literally just fucking made up. Just, oh, wouldn't it be cool if fucking leprechauns were yellow? And then they're like, right, brilliant, print that, they love that, right, this just in, Bill Gates is a yellow leprechaun. There you are. Print that, send it out. Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious how gullible we all are. I can just say, I'll make it about myself then, right? How gullible I am, just because if you don't know something, you just kind of believe it. There's been a huge outbreak it's always been an outbreak, but there's been huge outbreaks of people getting emails. They get an email, and it's not from a Nigerian prince. It's from it'll be from a Nigerian prince, and they're basically like, we know what you've been doing on your computer, and we have your password, and if you don't give us a few bob, we'll tell everyone what you're doing. And so you get the email, they're like, we know what you've been up to. We have the video of the dog licking your toes and the peanut butter. And you texting fucking your ex on the fucking dating site or some shite, I don't know. And we know how much you skimped on your tax returns, all this shit. Anyway, so just go listen. We know you've been up to some stuff, and we're going to tell all your friends on social media if you don't give us a few bob. Here's your password. That's the really freaky thing. Here's your password. So yeah, and loads of people have been absolutely shitting themselves, and they're like, fuck, how do I pay this and all this stuff? And then it just turns out usually what happens is a site gets hacked, and all the passwords for the login passwords for that website are released, and the email addresses. So all they have is your login information for that website, which is often like Facebook or whatever it is. All the big websites have been hacked at one stage or another. But anyway, so it gets your login details for that particular website, emails them to you, and then says, they just come up with a story and say, right, if you don't give us money, we're gonna, they imply that they have your passwords for fucking everything, and they have all this shit on you. And if you don't give us a load of money, we're just fucking whatever. And they just basically send it to everyone on the email list. They go, right, send all, bang, copy and paste. Whoop. Yeah, and people go, oh fuck, like fucking this lad is that picture of my willy out that I took. Sense that fucking send all the lads in the WhatsApp group. Don't want my mum seeing that on Facebook or whatever the fuck it is, and they pay them a few bob. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is, anyone I know who got a thing like that just didn't reply and everything was grand. Because they're just fishing for information. And the worst thing you can do is reply, but it's very scary. I was on a website there yesterday. Has anyone heard of Hawaii, one of those things? I was getting a phone for someone. They wanted, talking about built-in obsolescence for a sec. It's fixing an old iPhone. And they have, if you open them too fast, the wires inside rip to stop you fixing it. So basically they have mechanisms in place to stop people who aren't Apple staff fixing the phones. And yeah, so I was trying to fix the phone, got the new battery, grand, opened it, fucking thing shat itself, rip wires. But yeah, it's fine. You can get the new parts from China to fix it yourself if you want. Alright, we're going to speed up. So, I was on the internet there, you know, fucking, someone wants to get a big, nice phone for themselves. What one will I get? Right, you got fucking Hawaii, whatever that one is. You have fucking Apple and Samsung or whatever, however it is. So yeah, narrowed it down to a few phones. Don't worry, it's going somewhere. So got down to a few phones, checked up the reviews. Grand, happy days. And then, whoa, what's this? Huawei or whatever. You're not going to be able to use WhatsApp on it next year because they're after getting in a big fight with fucking someone. And now there's talk about Google taking the apps off and all this stuff. But as far as definite facts, WhatsApp will be taken off it next year, and you can only use stuff like WeChat. So yeah, it's mad. You can buy a brand new phone and then it can be useless fucking next year. I've talked in detail about Huawei phones. People are very paranoid and upset about it because that's Huawei. People are upset about it because that and TikTok are being used to spy people's phones and send sensitive information back to the CCP. And it's come out lots of times that the CCP have used incriminating photographs from their phones and information to blackmail powerful people into just saying yes to whatever Huawei says. Not Huawei, but anyway. Because Huawei isn't like a normal company. It's not like a company. It's a state-run company. So it's like it can't fail because it's being pumped with government money. That kind of way. Like normally if you have a phone company like Samsung or one of them, or Sony, Chinese, Japanese, if they have a bad year, they have a failed product, the company is just like fucking right, it's not making money, it gets shut down. But with this one, they're trying to allegedly use that as a spying mechanism for power, for taking information, stealing intellectual property is the prime concern. And so not social security secrets, just information. Yeah, so that's why people are paranoid about TikTok and Huawei, okay? And that's why they're getting banned. So all I was trying to say was, it's mad that you can go into the shop even right today and buy a Huawei phone. It won't fucking work next year. It's fucking 400, 500 euro, whatever. Anyway, I'm just being a little bit paranoid or whatever, but I just thought that was fucking wild. Then went to get the phone. Because, normally you can just go to a shop and it's all fucking grand. But right now, in the current situation, not everyone's dealing. Not all the shops are open. Went on a few sites. Turned out they were fake phone sites. And there was loads of articles about how they were fucking fake. And turned out, I had to find like a local, just because I didn't know what the fuck was. It's absolute chaos on the internet right now. Like, PayPal aren't returning calls, and eBay, well, just understaffed and all the rest of it, not having to go with PayPal or anyone. But there's a few people doing shady shit, so went to buy the phone. Someone said to me, "Oh, hang on, the website isn't secured there," and I was like, "Oh, it's fucking grand, sure, it'd be fucking grand, just in case." Google the website, load of articles saying do not order from this website. The problem was that not necessarily that they weren't going to give you the products, it was that when you order it you have to wait a month for it to come, and they're just pretending to live right beside you. So it's kind of legal, it's just really fucking annoying that you order it and you have to wait an extra month. Anyway, ended up having to find a local shop just for trustworthiness. And I don't really care if a business is local or not, I just like getting whatever's best. But anyway, follow the money. Even though it's wrong ethically. And yeah, just had to ring up the fucking shop and pay more just for a local lad, just so I know it was genuine and stuff, and actually rang up and had to talk to the lad on the phone. It's fucking wild. That's the thing about phones, like, you have a phone, then you drop it, it's gone the next day, and you have to get a new one, like, the next day. You don't have to. There's nothing wrong about any of this stuff, it's just a little observation. And I'm sure you can relate yourself, like, you're like, oh fuck, phone's broken. The fucking pressure to get a new phone the next day, but also you want it to not be a shit one, and you end up staying all night fucking checking up all these forums, being like, fucking, is this phone good? Is that phone good? This one said the battery's not as good as, the fucking camera's better. And you're looking at fucking pixels, you're like not even sure what a fucking pixel is. Someone's texting you how to get a TikTok on Facebook. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? But yeah, it's mad because TikTok has been repressed, and now it's becoming huge just out of peer pressure and stuff. It's like, oh, that looks like fun, I want to have fun, I'll get it. And people are like, do you not remember that's a government funded yada yada yada? And they're like, it's a lot of fun though. So you're giving people access to your phones, but yeah, sure, listen, a life lived in fear is a life half lived. Quote by, I can't fucking remember who, but it was someone important to me at the time. It was probably some famous lad. Alright, baby. So there's been a lot of very frustrated people because naively when you grow up you think a member of law enforcement will know the law. Anyway, you get the I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Sure, listen. I'm sure you saw a load of videos of people giving out to just having. There's a lot of tension. Like, it's not. They're not even like trying to be dickheads. They're just like, here, like I'm fucking. I'm so stressed out, and now you're telling me I can't drive down the flipping road to keep my fucking farm going. Just fucking high tensions, and just yeah. I didn't know whether to be fucking shocked and go, oh yeah, fair play to this lad, or just go, oh, you probably shouldn't be disrespecting that guard, you know, he's just an ordinary lad trying to do his job. And but at the same time, it puts everyone in a fucking awkward position. It'd be grand if police weren't people or something, but they're just fucking people. So it's just like, oh god, everyday people shouting at everyday people over some decision neither of them have any control over. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I was very impressed that these guys were screaming. They sounded like they were very violent. They were screaming at them very angrily, but instead of going like F you or whatever to the law enforcement, they were actually screaming and quoting law at them. And the police force were like kind of very confused. They were like, which law is this now, and what law is this, and like I don't know. Sure, even if you go to like a lawyer or a judge and you go, well, according to law fucking 172 of the penal code, while the black and tans were in town, fucking this, and the judge would be like, I'll just have to look that up there because there's so many millions of laws. I'll just have to look that up and check the translation from Gaeilge to fucking thing. And ooh. Darling, darling, darling. Yeah. Heard a rumour about an Irish politician using physically handicapped people to promote her cause. She was like paying them to protest on her behalf. Just some stuff that didn't sound great, and I'm tempted to go into it, but these are just rumours, and sure there may be some articles on the journal about it, but who knows. Just there's people you probably want Ireland to feature in Eurovision Song Celebration tonight. Alright, it's Ramadan. Or Rotterdam. Jesus. So businesses are dying to get back to work, and as I said, people are angry about what's an essential business, what's not an essential business. And Russia has the second case number of COVID-19 cases in the world. McDonald's to reopen restaurants starting with 6 Dublin drive-thrus. Fuck, fair play to McDonald's. Jesus. Yes, having a look at the old journal here. So someone was giving out, it's awful, this politicians hiring people with disabilities to fucking protest at their cause, to pull the heartstrings and all this stuff. And I was just on the phone with them like, do you not know that's like kind of standard practice? And in some circles, Romania and other countries, you can watch plenty of videos of homeless people being, their like only way of earning money is being like a paid protester. So the government goes, right, I want you to protest against these people. Not the government, just like any whoever the fucking cause is that they want some people just to be there and make it feel like it's important. So they get the homeless people, and it's just whatever. Go, listen, I'll give you fucking €10, just stand there and shout something, just chant along, I'll give you the few bob. They all grand. There you are. Fucking hell. For example, Trump on his campaign run was having trouble getting people to come to his campaign. You know the thing where you get there and you just start shouting like, "Oh, I'm going to change the laws and I'm going to be a good president," and everyone thinks I'm a good president and I'll be brilliant, and everyone else is not as good as me, and so on. So there's no one fucking there, because no one fucking really gave a fuck about Donald Trump at the time as regards running for president. At least not enough people just to fill out his fucking auditoriums. So you had to pay people €50 each to come. So everyone in the audience was fucking paid €50. And that's, I think, called boy band theory, which once people are like, "Oh, people really like him, he's really popular," then people go, "Oh, maybe I should like him and listen to what he has to say," because all these people listen to what he has to say and they really respect what he has to say, and this he seems important. They're all paid €50. And then after like 6 months or something, they had to stop paying. They didn't have to pay people anymore to show up. But yeah, that's how movements get started. You give them a push at the start. The boy bands do it, man. Get yourself pictured with a load of females that want you, and then other females who be like, "Oh shit, they really want him, maybe I should want him too." Nothing against females or anyone, works with boys as well, whatever, but it's like fear of missing out. It's just very interesting. You can notice it in all acts of life and stuff. It's like that, "Oh, I want the last one before it runs out," and jeez, did you hear what your man said? "Oh jeez, no, I wish you should have been there." All this stuff. Being is it injected into the culture? I can't remember. But yeah, this is nothing to do with American politics. It's jabba dabba 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 dabba. Also, a little update on vaccines. Universally, people seem to agree on that the main problem with vaccines is that you get too much of it in one sitting or something. So I don't know. There's a lot of misinformation about vaccines. I definitely don't know a flippin' tap about it, but I just thought it'd be interesting to chime that bit in. That seems to be one thing that a lot of people can agree on, is that it's important to spread them out. That's all. And then possibly the age that you're vaccinated. But generally people seem to be like, vaccinations, they're a good idea. There's a lot of information just being like, but what if this happens? And it's terrifying. Just like what I was talking to you about with the David Icke thing. And then you get some kid showing up to school with a load of ideas and they don't know what the fuck they mean. I didn't have a fucking clue what David Icke was talking about, but I was just like, fuck. The lads in school will love this. They didn't. They were like, who the fuck's Bloomberg Group? Yeah, sure, yeah. Guess you have to pick your audience, don't you? Ding dong! So a lot of resentment, high tensions between enforcers of the law worldwide. Hong Kong. Oh yeah, fucking Kim Jong-un. Right. So there's a rumour. Not true. Not true. There's a rumour going around that he had a heart attack or something. And he got a heart transplant, or I don't know, you know, one of those things. They swapped his heart with a shark or something. One of those things. Shark's heart. Pig's heart. One of those. He got a new heart. And then he put out a video of himself. Bit of context. North Korea, highly volatile dictatorship. A lot of people want to go in and just be like, "Oh, this is my land now," so it's a hot potato. So Kim Jong-un had heart issues, allegedly. Opportunists were seeing this as like a possible time to move in and attack North Korea or whatever, because locked off from the outside world. There's only like 10 haircuts you're allowed from a chosen menu. It's fucking wild. That's depending on what sex you are. So there's different haircuts available for female or women. Different haircuts depending on whether you're married or unmarried. How handy would that be? Oh, she's single. You could tell straight away with her fucking haircut. North Korea. I love it. Sign me up. It'd make life a lot easier, wouldn't it? If you were one of those single lads. Humans are not herds. Who trashes brutal thing herd humanity beat COVID pandemic something. So one of the things I was just reading something about trans on Russia Today. One of the things that David Icke seems to be quite paranoid about is a genderless society. There's a lot of. Sure, listen, that's another hot potato. But that's one of the big buzzwords. Any other little bits on David Icke? Prolific writer, very good work ethic, questionable things he says. There you are. Current crisis have revealed ideology bankruptcy of leaders, says, and that's by Marine Le Pen slams government as France eases quarantine. So she's an all right winger. Alright. So Hong Kong police state. So there's people showing up with fucking gas masks and all sorts of stuff. Just shit's fucking hitting the fan. Protest under Hong Kong rising police state. Oh, it's actually, that's not you, but anyway, get the idea. It's the VeganSteven. So all the links are downstairs. Make sure you hit that subscribe, the newsletter, and I've got all the merch for you there. Hats, glasses, condoms, and David Icke, tick. Talked about that one. We're coming to the end of the VeganSteven podcast. Alright. Police, grand. Tick that one. Vaping, might leave that one for another day. David Icke, grand. People saying they know your passwords and scaring the shit out of you when they don't actually have your passwords or information, grand. I think the worst thing you can do with those emails is reply, personally. But anyway. For me, all those things just go straight in the spam folder. Thank fuck. So I haven't had the pleasure of even opening them up, because once you reply to even answer a number of one of these calls, your email is noted as active and they'll keep targeting it. But anyway, sure, listen, it's all fine. I too used to be flesh off the bone like a vegetable. I too used to sedate my emotions, sterilize my thoughts. Now I hate everyone, 'cause you don't care about anything. It was in the supermarket, everyone desensitized by social standards. We're politically correct, a fucking mess. For who? For what? So you can say I'm insane for using my brain. I know what you want, 'cause I too used to eat flesh off the bone like a vegetable. I too used to sedate my emotions, sterilize my thoughts. VeganSteven podcast. So the last little thing I'll say was that there was people saying Kim Jong-un's sister is more violent than him or worse than him and all that stuff, and that people think Kim Jong-un has had a body double do his publicity appearances, and his close-ups of like his moles are in the wrong place and he has one tooth's in the wrong place and all this stuff. So yeah, people are going, is this real, is this not real, is it time to attack and all this mad shit. But right now, don't worry about that. Just tell someone you love them. Preferably a stranger.